Welcome back everyone, I'm Danny the Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm going to be showing you all how to draw the level 40 Helicoprion from Jurassic World the Game. So Helicoprion is a chainsaw-faced shark, in the words of the Game Beaver, and yeah, it's a really creepy looking shark, and here's our reference image as you guys can see. Just take a look at that shark, it's freaky. And the equipment we're going to be using today is a Graph Gear 500 mechanical pencil, an eraser, and some paper, so be sure you get those things out. And I'll probably be using a shading pencil at some point. I have this 4B little stubby pencil. And yeah, let's dive right into the outline. So as you saw in the picture, the shark is facing to the right. So we're going to be starting with the tail. You want to space everything out on your paper to start off with, so you don't go off the page or anything like that. So I have like a potato shape here for the main portion of the shark's body. It's kind of an extremely pointy nose, which is about to go off the page. So that's why I'm going to probably bring the whole size of the drawing a little smaller. It's going to have a dorsal fin right about here. So I want to reserve a lot of space for its head. It's got a very unique head. That's going to be the main focus of this creature. And move the dorsal fin a little bit further back. Just going to make a ton of adjustments right here early on so we don't have to do it later on when we've already put in a lot of detail that we don't want to painstakingly erase. See that eye will be right about there. Here's where it's going to have that weird saw thing coming out of its lower jaw. We're going to have some pectoral fins coming out here. Have some little fins back near the tail. So this is a pretty good outline. The proportions are pretty good. So if your outline looks similar to this and you are satisfied with where it is placed on your paper, we can head on to the next step. Since I'm right-handed, we're going to be working from left to right, which means we are going to put detail in first on the tail. It's got a pointy tail, as most sharks have. And on the top, it's got a bunch of little spikes. They're more like saw teeth. So we'll put those in and immediately color them in. Let's give them a nice dark color. Everything at level 40 in Jurassic World the Game has spikes. It's like without question. Spikes or a lot of feathers. Okay, so we don't want to get too carried away. Go ahead and put those spikes in. Once you've done that, we can do pretty much the exact same thing to the bottom of the tail, but I want to make this point in the tail a little thinner than we had it before. So now we can go ahead and put in those triangular, they almost look like shark teeth to me. I just call them shark teeth. The shark teeth spikes. And there's like a little chip here in the back of the tail. Looks like it got nipped by another shark or something. So go ahead and put that in. Now the bottom tips of the shark's tail are a little bit of a different shade of color. So to express that when we're doing black and white, we're just going to shade it in a little bit. So let's do that for the bottom and top tips of Helicoprion's tail. So the tail is going to arch up, and this is where it connects to the body. So that's probably going to be the thinnest point of the shark, is right here. So be sure to have your eraser handy because we're going to be using it a lot today. So right here, again, get your eraser out. We're just going to erase a lot of this messy outline. I mean, this outline was worse than most of the ones I've done before. Let's go ahead and put that little fin in. We'll do the one opposite to it, which will be shaded in. And the body's going to slope downwards. It's kind of a bulky shark. It's got a lot of meat on it. So here's where I'm going to take my eraser and erase a lot of this mess. Okay, I think we should work on the dorsal fin next, which is kind of spiky on the edge there. Looks like a rocky mountain. And it's got like a bunch of little spines that go up into, like, forming like a Spinosaurus sail, pretty much. I think that's the same with the Megalodon at level 40. Has all these spines. Okay, so we can either color the spines a different, like a darker shade, or we can color the fin a darker shade. So I'm going to take out my shading pencil and color in each of these spines, just to make them stand out a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good, and maybe just add a little bit of shading to the very edge. I'm liking it. And now that I'm looking at it closer, I notice there are a bunch of spikes that lead up to that dorsal fin. So let's go ahead and put those in. I might even be able to do that with my shading pencil. Might work a little quicker. The Graph Creator 500 mechanical pencils, like, super fine, so it's much slower when it comes to shading compared to like this 4B pencil, which has got a very wide tip. Okay, so we got those put in. Now let's just continue with the main part of the body. So the body's going to have like two lines we're going to have to put in. One right there, and one right here. And you want to have them slightly curved. This is just to show like the contours on the body, I guess, to show the overall shape. And there are a bunch more spikes. I'm going to start right about here. I'm first going to do the outline, and then I'll color them in with my shading pencil. This row of spikes ends right about there, and then on the very top, I guess this would be the neck / body, I'm not sure, there are a bunch of these large spikes that actually continue onto the head, so we're not there yet, so let's not completely finish up with those. But now is a good time to go ahead and color these in. Okay, good job. We got those colored in. And now is a very interesting / hard part of the drawing. We're going to be putting in a bunch of these like stripes, basically, all along the body, and a little bit of the tail. So they're going to be kind of squiggly like spaghetti, and they're kind of thin. They're not going to be too hard to do. The hardest part, I'd say, is just trying to make them look organic, make them look natural. Let's try to make each one slightly different. I did try and space them kind of the same, like going in between the spikes. And each of these stripes is going to end right at the second line that we put in. You can make some of them slightly thicker at the larger parts of the body. Alright, okay, so let's add a little bit of shading now. Next to this line. Or, yeah, right above it. If you do have a shading pencil, I'd recommend you pull it out for some of the things we're doing next. We are going to be also shading above this line. Yeah, and it's much faster if you have a shading pencil. Mechanical pencils are great, and I use them all the time, but they're not the best for shading. Okay, so yeah, make sure that's nicely shaded. I'm going to switch back over to my mechanical pencil for the pectoral fin, which is what we're going to be working on next. Just erase that bit of outline. Okay, so this is a very odd pectoral fin because it's got a huge, almost like a finger sticking out with a huge spike. It's got like 3 spikes, I believe. I've got sort of a blurry reference image right now, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I think it's 3. So that is the basic gist of this pectoral fin. Very weird. Okay, so let's do a little bit of the one on the other side. We're not going to be able to see it too much, but we're definitely going to see at least 1 spike from the other side. Or maybe 2. And the opposite pectoral fin is going to be completely shaded in. Alright, so we can add a little bit of stripes onto this pectoral fin. These look kind of random. I like it. Okay, so on the very tip here, let's add a bunch of little curved lines to show that the pectoral fin has got a curve to it. Maybe a little bit right there. And a little bit at the back. Just want to add those extra little details to bring your drawing to the next level. Okay, so back to shading. I'm going to shade right here, which would be the armpit, I guess. Or the fin pit, whatever you want to call it. And this whole area of the belly is going to be, it's not like a different color, but yeah, it's got a lot of shadow on it. And it'll slightly get lighter as you get higher up on the belly. If you want to go ahead and smudge, you can do that as well. I'm trying to think where else I can add a little bit of shading. Maybe somewhere about here. Okay, that's looking great. The body's looking very 3D, and that's what we want. Just gonna add a little bit of rib lines here. Okay, so now for the most fun part, we're going to be putting in the Helicoprion's jaws, which is undoubtedly what makes it one of the most popular, famous sharks. I know some of you guys have requested this, but forgive me, I cannot remember who. It's been a while. This was on my list for like a long time, probably over a year now. Since somebody requested this. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in its spiky nose. It's almost like a narwhal there. very long unicorn-like spike. Then here's where the actual proper jaws start. Then we have that really weird bottom jaw. So make sure you go ahead and put those lines in carefully. And next we're going to put in that really weird saw. Just draw like a circle. Circle that ends right about here. It's going to curve upward. Form an actual jawline there. Okay, so this is exactly like a skill saw. It's going to have a bunch of teeth sticking out. Can you imagine if these things were still alive? And there are like videos on YouTube, like GoPro encounter with Helicoprion shark. And that'd be super cool. Okay, so go ahead and put those teeth in. I'm going to shade the roots here of each tooth. Like so. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit more shading in the neck area. And right, we gotta put in gills. I just forgot about those. I think the gills will be right about here. So add 3 or 4 gills in, or else your shark will die. It won't be able to breathe. So this one looks a little bit odd spaced, so I'm gonna move it back a bit. I'm going to continue the shading under the bottom jaw here. And maybe a little bit here on the inside of the wheel. So it's a super creepy shark. So let's just go ahead and put 1 row in. Then there's going to be the 2 lips are going to be on either side. So it's only got 1 gum line. So I apologize for leading you guys astray, giving you wrong information. It's always painful to erase something, especially something that's drawn so nicely. Okay, so there we got it. We've corrected our mistake. Okay, so there's like a little crack here underneath the snout. And it's really unclear where the eye is. I'm pretty sure it's right here. But in Jurassic World the Game, it's got like a completely black eye, so it almost looks like a nose. I think the nose is right about here. So go put the eye and nose in, and put a little bit of shading above the eyeball to create sort of like a brow ridge. Yeah, this is definitely a mean looking shark. Well, all sharks are pretty mean looking. Even sand sharks bear the resemblance of their cousins, the great white sharks, and stuff like that. Okay, so it's got like 1 horn above the brow. Then go ahead and put that in. It's gonna have a few more spikes that stop right about there. It's gonna have a few crazy ones that are pointed in different directions all over the neck. Of course, this part is not realistic. I don't think the real Helicoprion had any spikes on it. This is all courtesy of Ludia. Alright, I think we're pretty much done. I might add a little bit of shading. A little bit more, I should say, because we've done a lot already. Okay guys, I think we are pretty much done. I'm going to go ahead and sign my drawing. You can always add a fish or something to make the Helicoprion look like it's in its natural environment. I'm going to sign right here. I'll put in the date. Yeah, I hope you guys are all staying safe during this time of quarantine. But I also hope you guys are still drawing, because this is the best time to draw when you have no school or anything like that. Well, I know you guys still have obligations and online classes and stuff like that, but still, all that time you used commuting and stuff, you can pour into drawing. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to add a little fish right here. A simple fish. Got a little dorsal fin there. This poor fish is doomed. He's like, why did you have to draw me? I think fishes only have like one main gill. This fish is totally unaware of what's approaching. Well, maybe it is. It's got sort of like a sad, frightened face. Let's add a few little scales. Make our fish look more realistic. I'm gonna add some shading. This is great. Okay, so we've added our fish. The only thing else we can add is maybe a few bubbles. I love doing this with my underwater drawings. Especially fun to have like the bubbles coming from the nose. And a few bubbles coming from the fish. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go check out my vlog channel because I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers on that channel very soon. Yeah, I'll have a link to that in the description below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.